there's a new option here, Loopback Orchestration, under the configuration setting screen. The Loopback IP won't change. Once the EdgeConnect is added to the system, it keeps that loopback forever. This is kind of one of the core requirements of it, is that that needs to be its identity, and it doesn't need to randomly change at some point in the future. It will not change. The orchestrator, you can't control how it assigns the loopbacks. It just gives /32 starting at the bottom and just goes up. So like you can't say I want my hubs to get .1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want it doesn't. You don't get that option. It's just an IP, and it's gonna do what it does. So that's okay. I don't think it's a big problem. If you remove a Silver Peak, an EdgeConnect from the orchestrator, that its loopback IP gets retired. It gets moved into it doesn't get used again for another EdgeConnect. So the current loopback orchestration mechanism has a, which I'll show you in a second, has a mechanism for reclaiming deleted IP addresses, but it won't reuse them until you press the reclaim button. You can currently only use one global pool for the loopbacks. Notice there's a label called loopbacks, the first row. It has zone fabric, that's the firewall zone. There's a management IP option. This controls whether or not you want to source management traffic from that particular loopback IP. You can only hit yes to one of them. So there's two loopbacks configured here for each appliance. One of them is management. What that's doing on the back end is pretty much an IP management IP space, that IP. It's doing that for you automatically. And as long as management 0 is turned off, that means that pretty much all of the management traffic that's important, like NetFlow and syslog, will come from the loopback. The orchestrator can still come from any interface, starting with the LAN side and going to the WAN, but other management traffic will always come from the loopback. It's not on by default. You'll need to go in and configure it. You need to tell it what the global pool is you want to use, and hit apply, and it'll run out. It'll start configuring them and building them all. It uses loopback starting with 20,000. So 20,000 will be the first one, 20,001 will be the second one, and so on. Loopbacks are always treated as LAN side interfaces, which means they're just like data path interfaces. They get distributed to subnet sharing as /32s in the same way anything else would.